Kourtney Kardashian reportedly offered Scott Disick millions of dollars to keep his distance from their children. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and updates. Kourtney Kardashian has once again found herself in the middle of controversy, and this time it involves her former partner Scott Disick and their 3 children. A new claim has surfaced that Kourtney, along with members of her famous family, once offered Scott millions of dollars to step away from his role as a father and limit his presence in their children's lives. The claim was shared by Mark Behar, a former bodyguard who worked closely with the Kardashians and says he personally witnessed the tension behind the scenes. According to Behar, Scott was not only pressured to stay away from family events but was also allegedly offered a financial settlement to give up his rights to see his own kids. He explained that Kourtney and her family seemed determined to remove Scott from the circle after she began a serious relationship with Travis Barker, the drummer for Blink-182, who later became her husband. Scott has always been a complicated figure within the Kardashian world. He was with Kourtney for nearly a decade, and although their romance ended, his role as the father of Mason, Penelope, and Reign has kept him tied to the family. Over the years, viewers of their reality shows have watched him struggle with personal battles, emotional lows, and the difficulty of moving forward after his split from Kourtney. Yet despite those challenges, Scott was still often welcomed at family gatherings, vacations, and televised events. He was seen as part of the extended family, someone who, though no longer Kourtney's partner, was always tied to her, Kris Jenner, and the sisters. That situation began to shift when Travis Barker came into Kourtney's life. Their relationship moved quickly, with Travis becoming a central figure not just to Kourtney but also to her kids. Publicly, their romance was celebrated, but privately, things seemed to grow more complicated. Reports suggest Scott began to feel excluded as Kourtney leaned into her new chapter. Mark Behar, in an interview, painted a picture of Scott being backed into a corner by the Kardashians. He claimed Kris Jenner and Khloe Kardashian in particular had a role in suggesting Scott should step back, and he alleged they went as far as offering him a multi-million-dollar deal to stay away from both family events and his children. According to Behar, Scott's response was firm rejection. He reportedly told Behar that he would never agree to sign away his rights as a father, no matter how much money was offered. Behar even shared what he said was a direct reaction from Scott. According to him, Scott dismissed the idea immediately and expressed anger at the suggestion. Behar recalled Scott asking him for advice on how to handle the situation. The former bodyguard suggested that Scott was deeply hurt but unwilling to walk away from his children, even though the temptation of money was placed before him. The tension only became more visible as Kourtney and Travis's relationship progressed. Scott was notably absent from the couple's wedding, which many saw as a clear sign that his place in the family had shifted. Sources told People magazine that Scott had a very hard time accepting that he was not invited, even though he understood it might happen. He had grown used to being included in major family events despite his breakup with Kourtney, and being shut out of the wedding was a painful reminder of how much had changed. One insider described Scott as feeling devastated, explaining that although he always knew Kourtney would eventually move on, seeing it happen in such a public way was still overwhelming. He had spent years being accepted by the Kardashian family, even at his lowest moments, and now he found himself outside one of the most important celebrations of Kourtney's life. The feeling of rejection reportedly weighed heavily on him. Still, Scott's relationship with his children has remained strong despite the drama. He often shares sweet moments with Mason, Penelope, and Reign on social media, showing that no matter the difficulties between him and Kourtney or the rest of the family, his bond with the kids continues. Fans frequently see him posting pictures and videos of their time together, whether they are traveling, enjoying everyday activities, or simply spending quiet time at home. For Scott, being a father appears to be the most important part of his life. The entire situation highlights the complicated dynamics that have surrounded Scott and Kourtney since their breakup. While many former couples find ways to co-parent peacefully, the involvement of a high-profile family and the constant public attention have made things especially difficult for them. Adding Travis Barker into the mix has only heightened the tension, particularly as Kourtney builds a new family identity with him while Scott tries to hold on to his place in the lives of his children. It is worth noting that the claims made by Mark Behar remain unverified by the Kardashians themselves. Neither Kourtney nor Scott has publicly confirmed or denied that such an offer was made. However, the allegations line up with the visible changes in Scott's relationship with the family over the years. His reduced appearances on the show, his absence from major events, and his own open comments about feeling left out all add weight to the suggestion that he has been gradually pushed aside. The idea of being offered money to stay away from one's own children is shocking, and if true, it would show the lengths to which the Kardashian family might go to protect Kourtney's new life with Travis. Yet it also demonstrates Scott's determination to remain present as a father. For all his struggles, he has consistently expressed love for Mason, Penelope, and Reign, and even when faced with personal rejection, he has continued to prioritize them. Scott's story also reflects the larger pressures of being connected to one of the most famous families in the world. His life has been on display for more than a decade, and every mistake, every low point, and every personal challenge has been shared with millions of viewers. At times, that visibility has given him opportunities and fame, but it has also left him vulnerable to public judgment and exclusion. Kourtney, for her part, has always emphasized her role as a mother first. Her journey with Travis has been presented as a fresh start, filled with love, growth, and family unity. For her, balancing her happiness with Travis and her responsibility to her children has likely been a delicate process. If she truly did support or consider an offer to remove Scott from the picture, it may have been part of an effort to create stability in her new chapter. Even with these difficulties, there is no doubt that Scott will continue to be a central figure in his children's lives. The resilience of their bond has been proven time and again, as seen in the way he lights up when speaking about them or spending time with them. For Scott, fatherhood is not something that can be replaced with money, and that is perhaps the most important message from this entire story. The saga between Kourtney, Scott, and Travis shows how complicated family relationships can become, especially when they play out in public. Fans of the Kardashians will likely continue to speculate about what really happened behind closed doors, but what remains clear is that Scott Disick refuses to be erased from his children's lives. No matter how much tension exists with Kourtney or her family, his role as a father is non-negotiable to him. This controversy has also sparked wider conversations about money, power, and influence within high-profile families. The idea that someone could even be asked to sign away time with their children in exchange for financial gain has left many shocked. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.